Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. Today I am giving the presentation on posterior pituitary gland and its disorders. Learning outcomes. Students should be able to describe the function of posterior pituitary gland as an endocrine gland that produces and releases hormone. Discuss the hormones released by the pituitary gland such as antidiuretic hormone and oxytocin. Explain the interrelationship of physiological functions of the hypothalamus and the posterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Infer the two hormones released from the posterior pituitary, their target cells and their principal actions. Recall the physiological effects of the hormones released by the posterior pituitary gland on the body. Introduction. The pituitary endocrine gland, which is a small pea-sized gland located at the base of the brain or in the bony sella turcica and has a unique connection with the hypothalamus. The pituitary gland consists of two anatomical and functionally distinct regions, and the anterior lobe adenohypophysis and the posterior lobe neurohypophysis pars nervosa is also called a posterior lobe. Between these lobes lies a small region called the intermediate lobe, and the hypothalamus regulates the posterior pituitary gland secretion. Pituocytes. The posterior pituocytes are neurohypophysis composed mainly of glial-like cells called pituocytes. The pituocytes do not secrete hormones. They act simply as supporting structure for large number of terminal nerve fibers and terminal nerve endings from nerve tracts that originate in supraoptic and paraventricular nuclei of the hypothalamus. Hypothalamic control. Hypothalamus controls hormone release from posterior pituitary through hypothalamic hypophyseal tract by the help of neurosecretory cells called magnacellular neurons. Nerve impulse from the hypothalamus stimulate hormone release directly into the bloodstream via capillaries surrounding posterior pituitary gland. Hormones from posterior pituitary are the antidiuretic hormone or the oxytocin. These hormones are primarily synthesized in the hypothalamus and in supraoptic nucleus and paraventricular nuclei, and then these hormones are transferred through the hypothalamic hypophyseal tract with the help of carrier proteins called neurophysin. Antidiuretic hormone is a hypothalamic hormone synthesized primarily in the cells of the supraoptic nucleus. The hormone has passed through the axons bound to the neurophysin 2 carrier proteins and stored in their endings in the posterior pituitary. From the antidiuretic hormone, these hormones is subsequently released from the posterior pituitary by the nerve impulse arising along the hypothalamic hypophyseal tract. Antidiuretic hormone is also called the vasopressin. It acts as a water-preserving hormone. ADH is released into the blood circulation to vasoconstrict and reabsorb water from the collecting duct in the kidney to maintain equilibrium intracellularly and extracellularly. These are the two regulating receptors in the hypothalamus that sense water depletion and hyperosmolar concentration. The subfornical organ and organum vasculosum. This particular area of the nervous system does not have an intact blood-brain barrier. Therefore, blood products can come into contact with the structures with ease and eventually signal the hypothalamus for the ADH secretion. Antidiuretic hormone action of ADH on kidney. ADH binds on receptor V2 receptor present on the epithelial cells of the distal tubule and collecting ducts. It helps to increase permeability of the distal tubules and collecting ducts to water by increasing pore size and through aquaporins. This increases water reabsorption and leads to increase in osmolality of urine. Action of antidiuretic hormone on blood vessels. Antidiuretic hormone acts as a vasoconstrictor. Antidiuretic hormone binds with receptor V1 receptor present on the vascular smooth muscles. It leads to increase in intracellular calcium. Increase in intracellular calcium helps in contraction of the vascular smooth muscle. Because of this reason, the antidiuretic hormone is also known as vasopressin. Antidiuretic hormone. Regulation of antidiuretic hormone production, osmotic stimuli. Increase extracellular fluid osmolarity. Hyperosmolarity stimulates antidiuretic hormone secretion. When osmolarity of extracellular fluid increases in RP and that supplies the hypothalamus, the antidiuretic hormone neurons in the supraoptic and paraventricular nuclei immediately transmit impulses to the posterior pituitary to release large quantities of antidiuretic hormone into the circulating blood. Osmotic inhibitors. Hypoosmolarity of extracellular fluid inhibit the ADH secretion. Low blood volume and low blood pressure stimulate the ADH antidiuretic hormone secretion, nausea and vomiting. Stress and drug, nicotine, morphine, barbiturates increase the antidiuretic hormone release. Non-osmotic inhibitors. This is the diagrammatic presentation of regulation of antidiuretic hormone. Oxytocin is a polypeptide hormone produced in the paraventricular nuclei for the storage and release from the posterior pituitary gland. It is commonly extracted in female during the birthing process. Its function is to allow the uterus to contract, release milk from the breast. Action of oxytocin. Milk ejection. Oxytocin stimulates contraction of the smooth muscle cells, myoepithelium lining the duct of the mammary gland, therefore causes the milk ejection from the lactating breast. Stimulate the contraction of the smooth muscle of the uterus, myometrium. The sensitivity of the myometrium to exogenous oxytocin during pregnancy increases as pregnancy advances. Oxytocin plays a role in labor and has shown to be a useful therapeutic agent in the induction of labor. In males, oxytocin receptors are found in the testes, epididymis, and prostate gland. At the time of ejaculation, oxytocin facilitates the transport of sperm towards the urethra by causing increased contraction of the smooth muscle of the vas deferens. Regulation of oxytocin. Stimuli which increase oxytocin release. Oxytocin secretion is brought about by stimulation of cholinergic nerve fibers. Milk letdown reflex or milk ejection reflex. Suckling occurs causes the stimulation of the tactile receptors in the areolar region of the breast. It leads to activation of the somatosthetic neural pathway which transmits signal to the paraventricular nuclei in the hypothalamus. It leads to the release of oxytocin from the posterior pituitary into the bloodstream. The oxytocin is carried to the mammary gland where it causes milk release. Regulation of oxytocin. The oxytocin causes milk release in lactating women by contraction of the myoepithelial cells which cover the stromal surface of the epithelial cells of the alveoli or the alveolar ducts or cistern of the mammillary gland, thus expelling their contained milk into the duct. Oxytocin secretion may be conditioned, therefore the physical stimulation of the nipples no longer is required. Thus, lactating women can experience milk release in response to the sight and sound of a baby. Dilation of the cervix causes stimulation of paraventricular nucleus in hypothalamus which releases oxytocin. Factors which decreases oxytocin release. Emotional stress, psychic factors decrease milk letdown. Mechanism of action of oxytocin acts on its target cell via G protein coupled receptor which activates phospholipase C that in turn stimulates phosphoinositide turnover. This causes increased intracellular calcium concentration which activates the contractile machinery of the cell. Hyposecretion. Central diabetes insipidus is the most common form of pathology secondary to the low antidiuretic hormone secretion by the posterior pituitary. Decreased level of antidiuretic hormone will increase the number of binding receptors in the collecting duct. However, this will result in excess free water in the urine. Approximately 50% of the cases have no clear etiology and are labeled as idiopathic central diabetes insipidus. The other 50% belong to different categories including familial, traumatic and various disorders of the hypothalamus and pituitary. For example, Sheehan syndrome, tumor, sarcoidosis, tuberculosis, syphilis, eosinophilic granuloma and other encephalitis. Oxytocin insufficiency. Hyposecretion of oxytocin is not a common pathway but does transpire on rare occasions. This occurs when the level of oxytocin is well below the baseline margin. Low level of oxytocin would halt the uterine contraction and milk ejection during the birthing process. Panhypopituitarism is a condition where all anterior and posterior pituitary hormone levels are below normal, compromising their respective organs and can potentially be the cause of oxytocin insufficiency. Hypersecretion syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone SIADH is excess antidiuretic hormone production from the posterior pituitary or an ectopic source. Elevated level result in excess water retention and hypervolemic hyponatremia. However, edema or third spacing does not occur because hypovolemia activates the natriuresis which excretes water from the urine. SIADH also inhibit the production of renin, aldosterone secondary to volume expansion and high blood pressure, leading to diuresis. SIADH etiologies are tumor, malignancies, stroke, trauma, infection, medication, or anesthesia. Syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone is a diagnosis of exclusion once all other causes of hyponatremia have been ruled out. Treatment depends on the status of patient. If asymptomatic, then water restriction is sufficient. If this treatment fails to improve the sodium level, then add lithium or democlocycline. Both agents antagonize antidiuretic hormone, which will induce diuresis and ultimately correct the sodium level. Antidiuretic hormone receptor antagonists like tolvaptan and conivaptan are also approved for the treatment of SIADH. In symptomatic patients, the first line of treatment depends on severity of the symptoms. Oxytocin toxicity. There is a rare situation and occurs when the level of oxytocin is above the baseline margins. High concentrations of oxytocin result in overactive uterus, causing hypertrophy and limiting pregnancy due to insufficiency space to hold the fetus. These are the key takeaways. Message. Thank you for your attention. This was all about the posterior pituitary hormones.